Franchise Opportunity webinar. Really looking forward to giving you a bunch of great information and as well as taking some questions from you. We had, in the past, we've done a bunch of webinars but hadn't done much on the Q&A side just because, not knowing how much time we're going to have, but I've purposefully, we reworked this webinar. I'm going to spend about 30 minutes going through some information. Then I'm going to leave around 10 or 15 minutes for Q&A. So if you sit tight for the next half hour, write down any questions you have, and then I'm going to try to get through as many questions as I can at the end. All right, let's get started. All right, so the purpose of the webinar is three things that we want to accomplish. The first is to teach you how to lose 12 to 30 pounds in 12 weeks or less, which is a kind of a unique selling proposition we have, and it's the core of the Get in Shape for Women model. It's really what makes the model work is the fact that we produce transformation, compelling transformation in a short amount of time. So we're going to review that whole process. The second thing is I want to talk about how to turn this passion into a meaningful career, because if you really like number one, then you're going to do really well at number two. And then the last thing, number three, is just how you can open your own franchise. Just give you a little bit of information to kind of get you pointed in that direction. All right, let's get going. So one thing we start all of our meetings with is something we call positive focus, and we learn this at an offsite, some offsite consulting that we did, which was really great. And basically, the premise was get into a good mood before any meeting to have a really effective meeting. And obviously the reasoning is because negativity and positivity or creativity can't exist at the same time. This helps people kind of to shake off something, maybe a rough morning or a rough day or whatever, just get you in a good frame of mind. And even as we intentionally practice this at the corporate office, even to spend like 5 minutes and just start writing down anything that's, we call them wins or positive focus, anything that's happened really good in the last day or two or week or month, it just puts you in a great mood, and then you end up being much more productive. So I'll start. Let's see. So my positive focus, I guess for me personally, I'll kind of keep it. I guess for me personally, a big one is when I started. So prior to starting my first studio, roughly 21 years ago, I was a personal trainer in a gym, had my own clientele. I was in my 22 years old, around there, and one of my personal training clients, I got really friendly with her, and her dad owned a strip mall. So I spent a year with this guy trying to open a health club, and this is over 20 years ago, a long time ago. Long story short is, spent a year trying to raise money with him to open this health club. It never happened, and I just went on to open up personal training studios. But I'm taking this guy out to lunch on Thursday, and I haven't seen him. I bumped into him quick about 15 years ago, but haven't really connected with him since, for 20 years, and now he's 82, and I'm just really excited that I took the time to kind of look back, and he's one of the handful of people that have made a really huge impact on my life, and I'm excited to spend some time with him now that I'm, freeing up my time a little bit, and gonna go around and obviously spend some time and thank all the people that have helped me get where I am. So that's my personal, and then professional. I guess we had a really awesome month in March. It was just a fantastic month. And we have a quarterly workshop coming up on Friday, and really excited to get with all the owners and managers and share with them some stuff we learned this month. So that's my positive focus, and for you guys at home, it'd be great if you just start this kind of rhythm where you just start to record and really just get into the mindset of all the great stuff that you've achieved and that you are achieving. All right, let's keep going. So our purpose. You guys have probably seen our website clearly marked. Our purpose is to empower women through body transformation. We usually like to spend a little bit of time in this because this is the part that is probably the most difficult part of the model. And some of the owners that we have that may be struggling, it's pretty much 100% of the time is that they're not producing transformation in the studio. And I think we all agree if a woman signs up for my program, her goal is to lose 30 pounds and that doesn't happen, she's not going to be happy and she's just going to move on. Now, if she does lose the 30 pounds, it's going to completely change her life. It's then going to affect everyone around her, and that's where word of mouth kicks in. That's when referrals really kick in, and then she just makes the decision that, you know what, I love this place, I'm going to stick around here for a while. So retention is having a retention problem is not because you're transforming women and they're just moving on. It's because it's not because you are transforming and moving on. It's because you're not transforming. So we like to stick on this and spend a lot of time in this, and we feel a big part of the corporate office is we're really teaching our owners, you know, how to transform women using the 4 components, really becoming coaches more than anything. We're transformation coaches and we follow 4 components, and usually if someone's struggling, it's one of the components is missing. And this also, our purpose really separates us apart from everyone else. And if you think about how crowded the fitness market is, I mean, who really is transforming women? And an expression we like to say is that there's training programs everywhere, there's transformation nowhere. And the reality is everyone's delivering workouts all over the place. It's just a different kind of workout. But who rightfully is delivering compelling transformation, holding women accountable, high fives, motivation, not accepting everyone, really the real deal. All right, I'll keep going. Core values. This is also something we learned a few years ago at an offsite, just to really define what makes us tick. And this, when you define your core values, the good thing is it repels people that you don't want in your organization, and it attracts people that you do. And really, you know, I'll just run you quick through them, I guess, just obvious. The first one, we treat our customers like family. And for me, when we did this exercise, I had to go way back to my very first personal training studio that I opened up when I was 23, and I invited all my clients to my wedding a few years later when I got married, or several years later when I was 27. So a good question to ask yourself, if you got married again, would you invite your clients to your wedding? And if you wouldn't, why not? Is there maybe not the right relationship with them where you really treat them like family? We have a passion for health and fitness, obviously, and hard to have someone in the corporate office that doesn't, or in our studios. We believe in the power of positivity. There's obviously 2 ways you can look at everything. We wire our customers by exceeding expectations, and this is, we've actually developed something we call New Client Experience. We have an entire system created to make sure that when we sign up a client, we've set an expectation, we now have to over-deliver. And that's the key to our model, is when you take someone's money, that's when the work begins. And now we make sure the program is a lot better than they thought it was. We check our egos at the door, and this is just dealing with trainers, managers, owners, even us at the corporate office. We're just going to make sure that we're always learning. And usually when someone has too much ego, it means they know everything and they're not really open to learn, and that's not a good thing. And then following, we're continually learning, so makes a lot of sense. We're constantly, you know, reading the latest business books, and we're constantly improving. Off-site meetings, I participate. So I go to quarterly coaching workshops called Strategic Coach, and it's a really awesome program for the entire company. And then I come back, and my whole corporate team is involved in this coaching process. And a lot of the concepts, we're able to kind of, you know, change up some of the material and provide the benefit to our franchise owners as well. And a big part